Good morning. How are you? How about that weather out there? That is nice, huh? That is nice. Welcome to the First Universalist Church of Yarmouth. I'm Reverend Hillary. I serve as the minister here, and I'm so happy to be greeting you on this sunny, springy day. Thanks for coming to church on this sunny, springy day. I hope you get out into the sunshine this afternoon. At First Universalist, our mission is to explore our faith, embrace this community, and to engage the world as spiritual seekers. May we take these words to heart. If this is your first time to our congregation, welcome. We invite you to fill out a yellow connection card that's located in front of you in your pew so we can connect you with programs that might be of interest to you. You can drop this card in the offering plate when it is passed later in our service. Our service this morning is multi-generational, meaning that it is a service designed for all ages and stages of our congregation. However, if you are here today with a baby or a toddler who in general is just not that interested in church services, be they multi-generational or not, the nursery is open throughout our service this morning, and it is located out this side door and down the hallway to the left. Before we begin our service, a couple things. First, following our worship today, we are hosting an Our Power referendum presentation from Jill Lindsay, a Mooson climate leader, who'll share information about a lower cost, clean, local, and reliable power solution for Maine. The presentation and Q&A will happen right downstairs in the gathering room from 11:45 to 12:45. Secondly, after church today, I'll be hosting our monthly children's tea and cookies with the minister from 11:45 to 12:15. And let's go outside for that. I will meet you in the Peace Garden, which is right outside there at 11:45 after church. And lastly, a note about today's service, my friends. As I shared a minute ago, today's service is multi-generational, and all ages and stages are invited to participate today for a reason. We want to hear from you. As you may or may not know, we currently are in the process of writing a 5-year long-range plan. We completed the previous 5-year plan last year, and it's now time to develop a new vision of what we'd like to accomplish, lift up, and seek out in the next year, the next 3 years, and the next 5 years. Today, in this multi-generational sanctuary, we will all participate in this visioning process, and what comes from our service today will be considered and distilled as leaders draft up a new long-range plan. So please, participate today. Dream big, keep it real. Imagine, wonder, and envision what is possible in this community, in this building, and with the spirit of our church. Oh, and just as an aside, if this is your first or second time stepping through the doors of our congregation, welcome. You might be feeling like, ooh, not sure if this is the one for me today. And you are incorrect, my friend. You have arrived today for a reason, seeking something, checking us out in hopes of something. Your thoughts and questions and voice are so welcome and so valuable today. Why are you here? For you, anything might be possible in this space. So big welcome to you. Engage with us today as much as you feel comfortable. All right, that is enough from me. I now invite you to take a deep, refreshing breath as we settle into this sacred time together. Our music director, Sam Chandler, will lead us into worship.
Imagine a place, perhaps a forest in Maine. It's an ecosystem where many creatures live. I'd like to invite Sam to play some background music, and I'd like to invite everyone here to provide some sound effects. So you can do it. As I take us into the forest, could somebody be wind? Somebody is a bee. Somebody's an animal eating berries. Keep it going, and feel free to add any sounds: rain, bird, leaf, anything. Ooh, good. There are huge trees and wildflowers and lush ferns. There are bees and moths and dragonflies and tiny insects, and each has a role. There are birds in the sky, fish in the water, amazing, animals underground, and animals who come out at night, and they are all part of this beautiful, complicated, interconnected biome. Do I hear peepers? Creatures and plants grow here, and they find what they need in the forest, and they offer what they are. There are seasons of birth and seasons of death and returning to the earth. If any one of these living things was missing, however, the flowering spice bush that feeds the bees, or the owls who hunt at night, the ecosystem would be out of balance. If rain didn't fall and fill up the streams, or winter didn't come to send the bears into hibernation, there'd be a ripple effect affecting everyone. And all things in our ecosystem are interconnected. Rain, wind, birds. Imagine a church like ours, First Universalist. For more than 150 years, good people have lit our chalice and kept this space in peace and friendship. We have our building, a beautiful old building with lots of life left in it. We share the goodwill to explore our faith, embrace our community, and engage the world as spiritual seekers. We make a difference to each other and to the wider world. What are the sounds of a church? Could you just turn and say hi to somebody? Like the forest, our church community is also an ecosystem, alive and always in flux. People come for fellowship and support, a place for children to grow in faith, and opportunities to serve a world in need. There are people who make pies, people who play music, people who write poems, people who come to silently pray. There are all kinds of people living in our intentional community and right relations, different ages, different points of view, and different needs. All the people and all the parts are interconnected. On the count of three, could you all just please say out loud what brought you here today? 1, 2, 3. You, us, love, hope. And just as in the forest, if any part of our ecosystem were missing, the minister who gathers us in sacred time and space, or the people who make sure we are safe and warm in here, or the youth who share their courageous credo statements with us in the spring while the lilacs are blooming, our ecosystem would be out of balance. So today, due to the kind of metaphorical equivalent of a forest fire pandemic, we're in a state of renewal, and we're regreening, and we're rebirthing ourselves. Some areas have recovered beautifully, and some will take a little bit longer. Can I hear the sound of things growing? Can you make the sign for spirit of life? Remember what that we see in the wider community of families and children and those who serve them, like schools and teachers, an unmet need, talking about out there, an unmet need for the safety and support of a spiritual home. We can be the beautiful ecosystem, a place where people of all ages are finding their best lives. When we are strong and healthy, we can even more boldly explore, embrace, and engage. With open minds and open hearts, we can meet the needs of our world, community, nation, world. Joy and justice will flow like water. Can I get an amen? Thank you. Thanks for participating. It's just the beginning. And now I'd like to invite everyone to rise in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth.
Please remain standing as you're able and join us in the words of our unison affirmation that are written in your order of service. We are united in seeking to increase love with justice and to constitute a free church open to all people, mindful of our past and drawing upon modern knowledge. We respond to the spiritual needs of persons and are devoted to the common good in community, nation, and world. We cherish the integrity of each individual and search for truth with reason as our guide. We respect differences of opinion and strive to be a democratic community. We are concerned with this world and open to the future. You may be seated. And if any kids want to come up and help me light the chalice this morning, come on down. Good morning. Oh. Good morning, Gwen.
Morning.
How are you?
Good. Okay. Hey, Hillary, have you ever heard of the book If I Built a School?
I have not. What is it about?
Okay, so it's a kind of cool and silly book, and it's written by a main author, Chris Van Dusen. And the book is exactly what it sounds like. What if you built a school? What would you dream up if you built a school? And it got me thinking, what if we built a church?
Like a new church? No, I'm joking. I'm going off script. Sorry. What if we built a church?
Yeah, like if you could build a church and shape its mission, what would you include?
What would you include if you could build a church? I know. I would include a greenhouse where we could grow and propagate native plants and then share them all around the neighborhood. And there'd be a seed bank. We definitely have a seed bank and a seed share. And obviously, there would be an animal sanctuary.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, like a church farm.
Church farm.
Okay, that would be pretty amazing. What else would you have?
All right. Since I don't know much about animal husbandry just yet, a little more realistically speaking, you know what would be pretty wonderful? A church that was a congregational meeting space and a place of worship, but was also a community space, a place open to justice-oriented, creative, peace and friendship-building groups and neighbors to have their events and meetings. There could be drop-in hours and regular activities for folks hungry for connection, affirmation, food. It would be a church that was just a totally shared space in the community.
I love that idea of a shared space with and for the community. But you know what I would build if I built a church?
Tell us.
Okay, more space for play. Outside play and inside play, and some churches even have a quiet play space right in their sanctuary. I would also, if I built a church, have a group for LGBTQ teens to build community, explore about themselves spiritually, learn ways to advocate for themselves and for other people who need justice.
Yeah, that would be so cool. And I think our visions are somewhat aligned, Gwen. We can talk about this on our Tuesday meeting. Let's make it happen. And while we consider these visions, we want to know, what if you built a church? What would you include in your church?
That's a great question. I want to know. What would you build?
Let's hear from someone who's been coming to First U Yarmouth for like 20 years or more. Do you have an idea you'd like to share? Raise your hand if you have an idea about something you'd include in a church, if you could build a church. We're going to come to you, Aubrey. You haven't been here for 20 years or plus just yet. Yeah, Joy. A music director like Sam. All right, check. Others who've been here for a while, what would you include in a church? Yeah, Marie. A dance hall. Anne. Some way to feed people. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, how about anyone who's been coming to first year for about a year or less? What would you build? What ideas do you have?
Second, the dance parties. All right, we've got 2 for dance
Two
parties.
for dance parties.
Others? Other newcomers? Oh, yeah, I want to know. What do you got?
Cora thinks a pool might be nice.
Swimming
Swimming
pool?
pool.
Swimming pool and movie stars? Okay. You want to tell? A movie theater.
A movie theater.
All right. Yeah, Kathy. Yeah. Absolutely. Outreach to the elderly, transportation, ways to bring them into our community. Coffee house. You've been here for more than a year.
All right, how about anyone who is in the choir or anyone who just has ideas about music? We heard Sam, check. Have Sam.
Music lessons for people who can't sing. I like it. I like it. We can sing. We can start with Handel's Messiah and just see how we do. Yeah, I like it. Others? Other thoughts about programming, music, or otherwise? Marie and then Joanna, yeah.
Music and arts and participatory activities that really welcome anybody who can't sing or can sing, if that's what you think.
Music and artistic opportunities for both those who are quote unquote skilled and those who are yet to be skilled to share and build community. Yeah, Joanna. Children's choir, yes.
So how about any kids or youth have an idea of what they'd like to see if they built a church?
Swimming pool, movie theater.
Oh, I think Aubrey has an idea.
Oh, Aubrey. Do you want to tell us?
Macaroni and cheese and probably pickle cake.
I think I caught a swimming pool of macaroni and cheese with something about pickles. This is the creativity. This is the
Yes,
dreamer.
Yes.
This is the iterative process in action.
Okay, what about anyone who's been coming to First Youth for about 5 or 10 years? Or if you're somewhere in the middle between 1 year and 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Anywhere in that middle range. Anyone got an idea?
What are we missing? Yeah, Dale. A space for gentle yoga with lots of props like bolsters and yoga. I am into it. Yes, a space for yoga. A gym?
All right, and one last. What about any idea? Oh, sorry.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you want a wonderful minister? I'll see what I can do about that.
Okay, and our one last, what about anyone have ideas about our church and justice? Things we could do for justice. If you built a church, what would our justice look like?
Yeah, March.
We would Be out in the community doing stuff.
Yes, we would.
We would be a presence at the State House advocating for just laws.
Presence at the State House.
We did that on Tuesday.
We can keep doing that, though.
I know.
Maybe some cleanup.
Clean up around town, around church, yeah.
More environmental justice, like maybe solar panels.
Solar panels, B&G. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, now they're getting into it.
Yeah.
We'd be connected with other UUs around the world and country.
Connected with UUs worldwide and nationally. Am I missing anybody? Oh. More outreach beyond Yarmouth.
A year where we all read the book or something, a good book together and talk about it. Books take a while. And then also the idea of a little winter project. Maybe instead of worship, we might just all do some project together to make the world a better place.
Love it. Love it. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
That was great. We'll talk more later on in the service, but this was a great, great start. Do we want to close by saying our children's blessing? Even though you guys are hanging out with us
Yeah, we're
today?
hanging out, but let's say it. We are Unitarian Universalists, people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands.
Thanks, everyone. All right. Phew. After getting those creative juices bubbling, let's take a moment now to find our centers as we come to the time in our service that we set aside each week for quiet prayer and meditation.
We share our plate this morning with Maine Initiative's Outdoor Equity Fund. This fund is dedicated to improving safe and equitable access to outdoor spaces and opportunities for nature-based learning for Black, Indigenous, and people of color, people often excluded from safe access to these spaces. Grants are awarded to organizations focused on addressing these issues, and Maine Initiatives prioritizes organizations led by members of the communities served. Examples of how these grants have been used include outdoor expeditions, environmental education, and cultural preservation programs, to name a few. For those in the sanctuary this morning, we will be passing the offering plate to one another. For those gathered with us online, you are invited to make your offering using the donate button in your order of worship or by dropping a check in the mail. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sam. Friends, will you rise in body and spirit and join us in singing our song of thanksgiving? The short verses are in your order of service. Thanks so much, everyone. All right, yeah. It is time now to put on our imagination caps and our critical thinking lenses and take a deep breath to enliven our creative spirits. In your pew this morning, you should have found a piece of paper with "Imagine Our Church" printed at the top. Sarah's holding it up. It's a little yellow leaflet. Perhaps you have already read this page and you might have a gist of what's about to happen in a moment, and perhaps you have been utterly captivated by our service and not yet read this page. Cool. To support all learning styles, though, I'm going to give a quick rundown of the plan for the next portion of our service. Attached to the Imagine Our Church page are some Post-its. And around the pew, there are some pens. On each Post-it, we invite you to write a hope you have for our church in the next year, or 3 years, or 5 years, as they relate to one of our 3 long-range goals. These Post-its are in different colors, and if you have a pink Post-it, we invite you to write hopes you have in regards to our first goal. We will be a vibrant, intergenerational congregation. If you have a green or blue Post-it, you're invited to write hopes you have in regards to our second goal. We will nurture a healthy spirit of stewardship for joy and justice. And if you have a yellow or purple Post-it, we had a bit of a mess up with the Post-its this morning, so just go with it. If you have a yellow or purple Post-it, you're invited to write hopes you have in regards to our third goal. We support the whole UU life. And if you didn't catch all that, it is all printed on the Imagine Our Church little yellow leaflet you have. Those seated around you have the same Post-it colors that you do. So if you enjoy talking to your neighbors, please turn around and chat with them about some of the things you're thinking, questions you're having, or hopes for First U that matter very deeply to you. If you are confused about this whole process, you can ask questions, or you can write on your Post-it, "I don't get it," and we'll take that into consideration down the road. Once you've written your hopes on your Post-its, stick your thoughts to a poster on a wall near to you that has a drawing of our church. Thank you, Sarah Whitty, for drawing our church multiple times over and over again. And stick it on the one that has the colors that match your Post-it. So green and blue go on the green and blue, pink go on the pink, yellow and purple go on the yellow and purple. If we have time, we'll then go around and share a few of the responses written on these Post-its so friends throughout the sanctuary can hear what's on our mind. For kiddos gathered with us this morning, come on up and sit on the chancel bench. Gwen is going to hang with you, and you all will discuss and draw some hopes you have for our congregation. And beloveds on Zoom, Joanna is going to post the 3 goals in the chat, and you're invited to write your hopes for any of them. Just include the number of the goal that you are responding to. And you can chat with each other if you like. I'm sorry we don't have the technology that enables you to chat with all of us, but perhaps that is a hope you have for our congregation. Any questions? Anyone just totally bewildered by this? Okay. All right, so deep breath. Ready, set, imagine. And kiddos, come on up if you'd like. Come on up. All right, folks, I'm going to invite you to put your Post-its up if you haven't yet. Just finish where you are, complete your thought. Thank you, everyone, for participating in this little exercise. I feel like everyone got a gist of what my mind is doing at 3 a.m. when I wake up in the middle of the night. What can we do? And just as we close this portion of our service, would anyone just like to share briefly what you put on your Post-it? Just shout some things out. After-school program for kids once a month based on a theme. I like it. How about this? Every time someone shares, we're all going to say, let's make it happen. After-school program for kids. Someone else? Adult children cooking experiences. Let's make it happen. All our electricity comes from solar. Let's make it happen. Couple others? There's a lot of Post-its up there. I know folks wrote things. Don't be shy. Yeah, Hillary. Murals and artwork in our church building. Let's make it happen. Yeah. Reuse the paper programs. Let's make it happen. Nice. All right. On your way out this morning, feel free to take a tour and check out what's written on all of these. Sarah, we have our work cut out for us, I think. Thank you all so much for participating in this. It's good to get everyone's voice involved. And as we close this time, will you join me in a short moment of blessing and prayer? Spirit of life and Spirit of this church and its good, loving, joyful, and just people, enliven us and steady us as we seek and find a way forward together. A way that is hopeful and doable, caring and creative. Let's listen to each other along this way, and let's celebrate and respond to each other with open minds and loving hearts. Let's never stray from our mission to explore our faith, embrace the community, and engage the world as spiritual seekers. For there is much work to do, and there is much fun to be had. And there is much peace to make, and there is great friendship to build, to strengthen, and to celebrate. So let's make it happen together. Blessed be this place, these people, and this moment. Amen. And will you rise in body and spirit and join us in singing our closing hymn, number 1017, in your teal hymnal, Building a New Way.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. verse 1 again. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new We are building a new way.
Will you join me in a closing time of prayer, my friends? Thanks so much for joining us today. A reminder of our power presentation downstairs and children's cookies with the minister outside in the Peace Garden right after the service. Will you take a breath with me? May all beings be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings experience profound joy in the causes of profound joy. And may we take part in that joy and that alleviation of suffering as we move forward always with love at our center. Let it be so.
And please join in our unison benediction, which is printed in your order of worship. For those who come here seeking God, may God go with you. For those who come embracing life, may life return your affection. And for those who come to seek a path, may a way be found and the courage to take it, step by step. Go in peace.